up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the N.W.A podcast live on a Friday night. The boys are back. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Let's start with Nate, and then we'll go with Eric, and then we'll go with Mike. Say hello. Say hello. What's up, guys?
I'm going to start on Beto. Hit that green button, Beto. Hit that green button. All right. Hello, everybody. Good to be back. Been a minute.
We lost you in audio, bro.
Oh, did we?
You're low.
Oh, I don't think it's my end.
No, you're good.
Is he good?
Is that better?
Okay, he's good.
That's better. That's better. That's better. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
anyway, as I was saying, good to be back. Ready to get it started. Hey, we got through last week. We got a win. Well, that's the most important thing. There were some definitely concerning things there, but nothing of major concern. It's week one. A lot of weird things happen in week one. I'm just looking forward to week two, and let's see if we can get some of that stuff rectified, and let's stop having all these injuries.
I know, man. It's 2019. 2021 is starting to look like 2020. Hopefully, it changes up. What's up, Mike? How you doing, brother?
Good, bro. Good, man. Big shout out to the Orlando Niner chapter. I was partying with my guys and the girls out there when we beat the Lions. So big shout out to the whole Orlando, Florida Niner chapter and the UK Niner chapter. The guys out there in England. Big shout out to you guys. We're gonna send you both of the show after the segment's over. So I had to shout out the chapters.
Right on, right on. Cool. What's up, Eric? What's up, B-Man? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? How's everybody doing, man? Glad to finally be back. Football is back. And we're 1-0. So, there's nothing. It wasn't the most brightful win, but a win is a win. At the end of the day, we are 1-0 and going for 2-0 against Philly.
Absolutely. Injuries are always devastating. It sucks to have injured players, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have injuries with a win than injuries with a loss. Don't rather have injuries at all, but if I have to take some injuries, a lot of teams out there lost some of their key players and lost as well. So, like you said, I'll take the 1-0. We can definitely build on that, and hopefully we'll talk about that tonight. Real quick, I just want to say hello to Javier Rios. Welcome, brother. Welcome, Moses Martinez. Luke Luna's in the house. What's up, guys? Welcome. Make sure you guys share, like, subscribe to the channel, and let all your friends know about the N.W.A podcast. Bring your friends over. The more, the merrier. So, who wants to talk about week one against the Lions? Your takes on the good and the bad.
Okay. Eric?
My biggest concern was our inability on the inside to stop the run. They were giving us the business on the run. So, can't take anything. I'm not taking anything away from the outside. I thought the outside guys did well. I think the inside didn't really handle it too well. Yeah, that's really. I'm not even going to jump into the passing game or anything like that. That was the thing that really stuck out to me was the run game.
Yeah. When it comes to the ability for our D tackles to just hold that point of attack, we were getting washed. I watched D tackle after D tackle get washed from one side to the other from one hash mark to the other. It was ridiculous. It was constant. People can say what they want about Javon Kinlaw, but I guarantee you that would never happen to him. Never. Yeah, so it will be good to get him back. He's still questionable, so I don't even know if he's playing this week. Quite frankly, I'd say leave him out if it's even questionable. I think that we can get a win without him, but that's we'll talk about that later on. Also, one of the things that am really concerned about, more so than our D tackles not playing up to snuff, is the injuries. We have our two best corners are injured. We're going to be going with our third and fourth guy. That's never promising. Um, we also lost Dre Greenlaw for 6 to 8 weeks, and I think that Shazier is going to be able to fill in amicably. I think it'll be a step back, but I think he'll do a pretty decent job. I hope that we don't, we lost a running back as well. I think that our depth there is going to keep us from really having any major setbacks at that position. So I'm definitely, looking forward to actually seeing the rookies get out there and showcase what they have. I'm really looking forward to see what they have. Outside of that, we're looking pretty good. Those are the things that I'm most concerned with is the secondary and the injuries and of course, the defensive line.
There was also another name that kind of hit the injury list that I'm not really posed to concern, but Eric Armstead also is questionable. Said something about his abdomen or whatever, but
yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one either.
Well, we got a lot. We seem like we got some significant injuries. What about? Does anybody know about the Eagles side? Do they have any significant injuries as well on their side?
I haven't really paid too much mind to what the Eagles are doing. I mean, I'm more
just their
worried
safety that stays hurt.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about us playing our game. We play our game. Doesn't matter what they have or don't have.
Yeah. Well,
so did y'all have any?
My biggest thing is just injuries. I'm not really worried about a lot of the stuff. I mean, it's week one. Sure there was some issues up there in the interior, but so what? We're a better team. We can win with that issue against teams like this, I believe. So on paper, we are better than them, but how we play Sunday has yet to be seen. So hopefully we go out there and execute. So, every game counts any given Sunday.
Yeah, one of their safeties is questionable. For the Eagles, Marcus Epps is questionable. And then you have there's just fair to say there's more injuries on our side than there is on the Eagles.
It seems to always be the case with us, man.
So,
yeah, but I mean, aside from the nonchalant stuff, like the long-term stuff, it's not. I mean, looking at long-term wise, the only players that are out long-term is Verrett, obviously. Most are on. Well, we'll just stick on defense. I'm not even going to talk about offense because we had more depth at running back. Verrett and Greenlaw, those are the main two. That kind of just, it's like wow, But we overcame adversity with Greenlaw last year when he got hurt, and I think this year is going to be a little bit of the same with the cornerback situation going into another week, starting two fresh corners, and God knows when Mosley's going to be available, how significant his knee is.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Trying to get this to work. Trying to get us out in the Facebook community, trying to bring people traffic in here. But, yeah, I agree. I think the Niners just need to play their type of football. The Eagles, I think they were overhyped week one. They played a really bad Falcons team. I was talking to Eric earlier, and we agreed on that. We thought the Texans were going to be bad this year. I think that the Falcons might just have a leg up on the Texans this year. Not saying much, but I think
they had a pretty bad football team.
Yeah, the Eagles are just a little bit overhyped. I mean, they still have a good front four. The Eagles do, so that'll definitely challenge our offensive line. But the way our offensive line played week one, I'm not worried. Plus, with all the running games that we have, the way we do the run, it'll take the pressure off the linemen. So I'm not worried about it. Stop making faces.
Okay.
I was gonna stop him, but you did.
Thank you.
Do you really believe that Matt Ryan and what he's got to offer just offensively is going to ultimately be worse than the Houston Texans? Do you really believe that?
At least week one, I do.
Oh my God. You're going to tell me a week one? I mean, so what? 1 week. Yeah. Absolutely.
That
That's
defense is atrocious though for Atlanta. So
okay.
I believe it.
Well,
And only
Houston
Ryan can only do so much though.
Houston is atrocious in general.
No arguing
Overall.
there, but
So the fact that they've got players the caliber of Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, we're going to see what this young tight end is like. He's supposed to be a stud, but we'll see what he's about. They've got more there than the entire Houston Texans team. I mean,
their running game was kind of
is notorious
non-existent
for doing what they're doing right now. So if you're really trying to make that out to be what they're going to be, come on, pay attention every year. Last few years, ever since that Super Bowl, they do this.
So you think Matt Ryan can pull Russell Wilson and lead their team to victories?
No, come on, stop it.
Well, it sounds like it.
It doesn't have to be Russell Wilson. You're comparing him to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, I'm not.
Come on, man. You are.
No, I'm not. I said the Texans.
The Texans, same difference. They're both trash. Flip a coin. At least they got young stud quarterback in Jacksonville. He might turn into something, but they have nothing. Deshaun Watson's
Eric,
not playing. Yeah, Deshaun Watson's not playing. They don't have nothing. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, I mean,
week one.
Yeah.
What's up, young hitter?
So let's jump back to
this.
Welcome back to the Eagles. I think week one is just hard in general. I mean, whatever the Eagles did to the Falcons, that's the Falcons. We're not them. So when we play the Eagles this Sunday, it'll be a different challenge for them and for us as well, but more for them. So as long as our offense is intact, I'm not even concerned with that. I believe we'll come out there firing our cylinders again like week one. And hopefully this time we just keep the pedal on the metal, don't pull out the starters if we're up by a marginal lead. I mean, a comfortable lead, because could have been chaotic and backfired. So
this game is going to have to be better in coverage, not in for say just atomic pressure, like just in coverage, because he's a mobile quarterback. This is the first test against a mobile quarterback with N.W.A. Ryans as our defensive coordinator. And even when Saleh was there, mobile quarterbacks have given us a little bit of trouble. And looking at week one where we had the trouble against the run, if you don't recall, last year, Saints had one of the top defenses and stuff in the run, and they ran all over. And I just don't. That's why I kind of expressed a lot of, concern with our run defense. I do want us to be able to step back and force him to make throws, because I think that's the way that we're going to be successful in this game this week.
Any thoughts, guys?
Well, I mean, the Eagles, we played them last year, right?
Yeah.
With Nick Mullins? Okay,
Yeah, with Nick Mullins, and the score wasn't really a big gap, right? Granted, they had different quarterback play, I believe, but I don't remember the outcome, but it was just last year, and we had Nick Mullins, so I don't think they blew us out last year. So are they any better with Hurd at quarterback, Hurts or whatever his name is at quarterback, than they are from last year's team? Because we're healthier this year.
Don't know. I've only seen
Well,
him play one game.
so we'll find out Sunday. But me personally, knowing our team, I mean, again, we're healthy. We do what we're supposed to do. We'll be fine. Defensively, I'm expecting a little bit of a slow start with the adjustments back there in the secondary, but I feel like we'll do enough on offense to keep us comfortable. I don't see us on offense. I see us being able to win more battles than them on their offense versus our defense. So we'll win the game.
Moses. Yeah, probably right about that. Yeah, definitely play nickel, play quarters coverage. That should be the primary. Of course, you want to mix it up some. You don't want to make it so obvious. They've got a lot of speed out there on the perimeter, so probably playing quarters would be our best bet because we don't match that speed that they have. Those young receivers, yeah, they're lightning rods, both of them. So I agree.
He did make a comment about Josh Norman possibly getting the start opposite of Lenore.
Who's that?
I don't know what
I
that noise is.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he was starting or not. I haven't heard anything either way, but that would be my guess. I would assume that.
Somebody's phone's going off. I think. Well, I mean, just they haven't really released from what the depth chart I've seen. Ambry Thomas was ahead of Josh Norman, but I don't suspect that to stick.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think he'll play.
How good do you think Josh Norman would be? I mean, we have to wait and see, obviously. But better. I mean, he's better than freaking Dante Johnson, though, or is he? Let's be real.
Ask me
After the game, of
Sunday,
course. I mean, I'll
the
probably
game.
already know after the game, but
Who knows? Who knows? You're asking for prediction. Historically, yes, but I don't know. He's a year older. Is he?
Just don't have him trying to tackle a 250-pound running back, and he'll be all right.
oh yeah, Henry.
Are we going to hear that every time we bring up his name? Come on, really?
Sorry, I know it's a little sore spot.
Not for me, but it's just like.
Oh, he wasn't on our team.
Yeah, I know it gets on.
When it comes to beating a dead horse, it's like,
depends with the horses, though.
And you go through historically, there's been a whole lot of people got mowed over by running backs, tight ends. It's not.
It happens. Yeah.
That's not taking anything away from his tackling ability or anything like that. I just hope we get the Josh Norman that was like Carolina. Josh Norman, that'd be great.
Yeah, you're not getting that.
Yeah, he's
Them days.
I wish.
Yeah.
Hey, one can hope.
Yeah,
maybe a year off could have maybe helped him with at least body-wise recovery. Hopefully, we'll see. Well, we'll learn a lot this Sunday if he plays. He's capable.
We'll learn a little.
Oh, a little, yeah. So, what are you guys' thoughts on Richard Sherman? You think he should still be a thought of maybe hopefully bringing in some type of capacity?
I think we should keep thinking about him. That's what I think.
So no,
just keep thinking. Yeah, Let him. He's got a lot of issues right now. He needs to deal with that. He doesn't even need to be thinking about football right now. Yeah, and we shouldn't even be thinking about him on a football field. Yeah,
if that hinders him, still, then you make a valid point. What's the point of bringing him in if he's still having off the field issues? You don't want that to kind of pour into the field. Let's see. Let's say Luke Luna says Emery has speed, so I think that they may give him a youthful shot with these young, fast receivers. He'll get burned, bro.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
he might have speed, but
I wouldn't. I mean, one of the things I notice about Ambry Thomas is, he's got straight line speed, but you know what? these two receivers, they're real twitchy. I mean, short area quickness stuff. Ambry Thomas is straight line fast. He doesn't change direction like that. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. But who knows what they'll do? We'll see.
D'Amico definitely will be
Yeah.
challenged to trying to match up with their receivers. It'll be interesting to see what the outcome is.
I do wonder if they're going to challenge Lenore a little bit more. I did expect him to be a little bit more challenged than he was last week, but
I actually didn't. Jared Goff has habits, and his habits play right into what we do. So, most of the time he's going to throw from this hash mark on one side all the way over to the sideline the other way. And if you keep somebody outside of the numbers on his backside, he doesn't really throw the ball there very much. He doesn't even look there very much. So, am I surprised? Not too surprised. Jared Goff doesn't really look over the whole field. So, you can kind of hide in plain sight against him if you in the right place.
that and a lot of teams have problems with good tight end play. Not too sure about Zach Ertz or health wise, but I know Dallas Goddard ain't. He's not a bad option for Philly. Be interesting to see our matchup there, but I think Fred Warner's just absolute savage when it comes to matching up with him. So, other than that, yeah, I mean, we've covered the secondary and our defense. Maybe it's time to. Maybe we should talk about the offense a little bit.
Go ahead, my brother.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's going to be the strong suit. I mean, I know a lot of people worry about secondary. Me, I'm glad our O line is super healthy because I feel like as long as our O line is healthy, we're going to be a well-oiled machine on offense, and we have defense enough to be able to, do their part when they need. Our offense can take us over the hump. That's what I'm feeling right now. Now that can change if guys on the defense that are unexpected to step up like these rookies. Funny thing is, we haven't really seen a lot from the rookies right now to be asked of. So if they come in there and ball out or exceed expectations, then people's worries start to minimize. So we'll find out a lot more about our team as a totality and where we're at with these injuries Sunday. I'm not worried about anything. We have the better. I feel like we're better overall in coaching and the team. So all we gotta do is execute, man. That's it. Call the plays, execute, do your job, and that's it.
I don't expect the run game to be as easy as it was against Detroit. I think that it would be more tested. Philly's got a better front, obviously. I think my grandma being pushed in a wheelchair probably could have got 100 yards against Detroit's rush defense. That's how bad they were. Overall, our zone blocking schemes allow several mismatches setting the edge for Mitchell. Like he was just basically like a one-on-one kind of thing. Even then, we had like several 5-on-2 battles coming around the side. So that's typically how our scheme works, is opening it up to where our running backs just have all this breathing room. And going against setting the tone on the edge, I think we're going to have definitely a little bit more tougher time against Fletcher and Hargrove and what's the other one? Barnett. Barnett's probably the weaker of the three, but I think it'll definitely be a tougher game for us as far as on that setting the tone on the front. But I was really impressed with our offensive line.
Yeah,
I'm wondering about Trey Sermon. Anybody have any update on that?
There's nothing to update. He's gonna play.
Yeah. He wasn't hurting like that. There were different reasons why he didn't play week 1.
I mean, yeah. No.
It was more, I believe, disciplinary.
Well, I said update because I wasn't sure what's the status of the disciplinary. That's why I said update.
Okay. I think it's behind him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
And I
'Cause
hope it's
I don't think
behind
a
him.
lot of I don't think a lot of our fans probably know about that as well. There's a lot of
Oh, well,
media.
let me.
They watch Talking Heads, so they're probably going to hear all kind of
Well,
these our we know from fans on our show and Niner fans in general watch these Talking Heads for some reason, and they still give the same people that talked about Mac Jones for months, which it didn't even pan out, which Kyle Shanahan confirmed. No, Lance was the guy the entire time, was never Mac. They're still listening to these people, right? So, from what our fans say, these people, for example, are bringing up two quarterback dual competitions. Lance only had 4 or 5 snaps the whole game. There is no two quarterback controversy. That's just media talk to get ratings. So, same thing with Trey Sermon. They're hearing all kind of stuff with that. From what I hear from the fans, I don't watch these people. I don't have to. I hear the fans talk about them so much. So that's why I was asking about his status because I don't watch the media.
yeah, there's a lot of speculation out there. There's
Yeah.
nothing concrete other than the fact that he is truly, whatever it is past, and they're supposed to be moving forward, and things are supposed to be fine. Um, there was this talk that was out there. I don't know how true it is or how it isn't, but it seems to make more sense than anything else that's out there. Is that him and Brandon Ayuk uh, allegedly missed a curfew, and what I'm assuming, because Ayuk played and he was inactive, leads me to believe that Sermon was much more negligent in missing curfew than Brandon Ayuk was. That's my assumption. I don't know if any of that is true, but it just makes sense based on what you saw Sunday. So I don't, they're not facts. All purely speculation based on the way things went down.
I'm
Speculations,
looking
but it
forward to
makes
Sermon.
sense. It makes sense because one was inactive, the one played. But I expect to see a lot of Trey Sermon week this Sunday against the Eagles. I expect him and Elijah Mitchell, and even though the running against the Eagles might be a little bit harder than it was against Detroit. Everett makes a valid point, but I think that we'll be successful in running with them as well. And I got a feeling that Elijah Mitchell, man, this kid is going to be. I know we only have 1 week sample, but based on what I saw, the Lions stacking up 8 in the box, and he was still able to run and penetrate and get those yards. He looks like he's going to be a good running back for us. So I can assume that we definitely, it was the last time we saw Raheem Mostert in the Niner uniform, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
To piggyback on what Beto was saying, I don't know that I'm really that he was able to do so much. I mean, some of them holes, any one of us could have got through those things. I mean,
Yeah, that was a
I'm
bad
not
defense.
I'm not discrediting him or trying to cast any aspersions as it pertains to his abilities. I hope that he's every bit as good as what we saw. But, and he hits those holes really quick though. So that's the one thing I did notice. Outside of that, those holes, they were part in the Red Sea for that, man. He didn't have he did not have to work hard for those yards. He was getting 4, 5, 6 yards on carries and wasn't even getting touched.
Yeah, I
So,
saw that. Yeah, he was popping through. So definitely against the Eagles, then it'll be a better challenge for him to see what he can do.
those windows will be smaller against them, that's for sure.
But you made a valid point about
And,
hitting those lines in stride, though. He did do that very well, so hopefully that'll carry
Yeah,
over.
it definitely
Sorry about
wasn't
that, Eric.
Coleman-like.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I saw the Jets game, bro, and Coleman's still doing it over there.
Well, cool.
Yeah, cool now, huh?
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, go ahead, Eric.
So
When we got, I was never
nah,
interested.
it's all good. I didn't like him either. Now look at the other thing was on the side of that is the pass protection. I think Jimmy, it may have been a coverage sack, but he wasn't really thrown on the ground too often. I think his jersey was still very clean after the game.
It was indoors.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Of course, it was
I'm
clear.
But I know what he meant.
Yeah,
But yeah, you know,
he was. He
I
had a
do.
lot
I
of
do
clean-
expect I do expect a bit more of a pass rush from Philly.
Yeah, count on it.
I don't
So
expect
it'd
an
be
outcome
interesting
of
to
the
see.
last year's game though with that pass rush, but I think with Jimmy we'll be able to get better and distribute the ball
Well,
better.
There's the miscues from we can't compare last year to this year.
Hell no.
We're talking about we had a plethora of injuries. We had a lot of guys missing
We had Nick
on the
Mullins back
offensive
there.
line. We had a terrible quarterback in there, and he was making error after error. I mean, missing on wide open throws, throwing at a guy's feet, short hopping it. I remember, come on, the tight end Reed. Reed was so irate. You could see it in his body language that he was so disgusted.
I remember
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
play.
He's pissed. But I tell you, if Jimmy's got to fumble the ball on the first snap and play flawless, I mean, so be it. I know, he's. I thought he did really well coming back.
Did you watch that play again?
It wasn't Jimmy.
Because why
I
people
know it
always
wasn't
gonna
Jimmy. I know it wasn't on Jimmy.
It was the sweaty big
First
butt
of
of Mac.
Sweaty? He was already sweaty.
Ado, what did you see on the sideline after that mishandled that miscue
I saw
on the
Mac.
snap?
I saw Alex Mack trying to fix that problem himself with Jimmy.
Yeah.
It wasn't Jimmy Jimmy wasn't trying to do anything. It was Alex Mack knew what he did.
Jimmy over there with him, did you?
No. Yep.
No. Yeah.
So that was
when you look at that snap, the first thing you look at is the responsibility of the quarterback. I mean, the center is to get that ball. That hand goes right up on the center's butt. His responsibility is to get that ball up to that hand that's on his butt.
clear as ass.
That ball came out right when it passed his knee. I'm like, he didn't even get the ball.
I wanted to
up
say
there.
that because I wanted to get him stirred up.
Yeah. So
it's
not.
Anybody.
Yeah, it was not on Jimmy.
Hey, let me say this. That was Jimmy's fault as much as it was Kittle's losing the onside kick. Okay, that's how much the same fault that was. People
that had a good bounce.
Yeah,
that had
of course
a good bounce,
it did.
dude. I ain't gonna lie.
Nate even said, we talked about it. 10 out of 10 times that bounce takes the same bounce. It happens the same play. There's nothing different. There's nothing Kittle could have done to prevent that loss of football, man. So people blaming Kittle. I don't mean to switch, but it's just to blame Kittle on a onside kick that took a great kick by the kicker, by the way, and then the turf topped out, but nothing to do with Kittle. Now the Debo Samuel letting go of the fumble, that's something he can do better to protect, but that was on him.
It happens to the best. It happens to the best of players. It happens to the best of players, man.
But at least you can blame Debo. You can't blame Kittle.
Look at the last game in Candlestick. Navarre Bowman missed the onside kick, and then Atlanta's going down to take the lead. So I mean, he did come back and make a good play.
Did you see that?
Pick at the stick.
You remember that onside kick, right? Did Navarro Bowman really do anything wrong?
Nope.
Or did that was just that just a
he didn't.
Freakish hop? Yeah, it was a freakish hop that
same
jumped by him.
Same situation.
When they're kicking like that, that's what they want. They want those hops. That's what the kicker's shooting for.
And
he was actually just in the right spot.
Doesn't happen.
Nope.
So
people need to get over themselves.
It happens to the best of players.
Yeah. People just want to blame, but if you know football, if you watch football.
But Beto, let's be honest, bro. People can watch football. Do they understand what they're watching? I mean, we just said it here on the show. You guys on the panel agree that the snap for Garoppolo wasn't his fault. People watched that same snap in the first reaction. Well, I was at a bar, and I heard the reactions. What the hell is he doing? He's nervous. Nothing was said about the center. You know what I mean? People actually watch the same thing you watch, but do they process what happened, especially when they're watching it in real time? When they show the replay, people might have to watch it 3. It's like a movie. You watch a movie one time, can you really say you understand the movie? Once you watch it again, you're gonna say, "Damn, I didn't see this the first time." People got to watch it more than once, and I think people react on live action,
Oh,
talking
definitely,
heads, and
definitely.
highlights. That's what they do, and then they come on here and then they're like, "Oh man, this guy sucks," and it's like, did you actually rewatch it before you make an opinion? And then you'll see, damn, maybe it wasn't him. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, they're quick to, especially the haters, bro. The ones that hate Jimmy already have him already packed up and gone.
who hates Garoppolo? Really? Like
The,
who really hates Garoppolo? What credible 49er fan? I don't care about
well,
non-Niner fans. They
that's the
suck.
key. That's the key word. Credible 49er fan, but there are 49er fans that do hate him.
Are they
Unfortunately,
49er fans that are 49er fans for the team, or are they just misguided about football knowledge?
could be a little bit of both.
Yeah, who
Because
knows?
because being a fan of a team doesn't mean that you're going to have an intelligent opinion. If they're not a fan of the team, they still talk ignorantly. Like they're not okay. If they're not a fan and they hate Garoppolo, what do you have to hate about Garoppolo? Like I don't know. There have been players on our team that if you want to have a disdain for, like the running back from the Vikings that came to us, how he exited out. You want to have a disdain with him, fine. But what do you hate about Garoppolo? Garoppolo has contributed. Garoppolo has played. He went 13-3, helped lead us to a Super Bowl. The only thing you can be upset about is something he can't always control, which is his injuries. But the man has played good when healthy. He has a winning record. People say he throws a lot of interceptions, and me and Nate talked about this off air. Boston Hader made a great point. Go look at, again, we're talking about watching the games versus watching highlights and reacting, watching the play multiple times before you come to an opinion. A lot of those interceptions were they Garoppolo's fault. Go watch all his interceptions and see how many of them was his fault versus how many of them was the receiver's fault. So my whole thing is when people make opinions, I don't mind people making opinions, but when people say things and they have no substance to what they say, like you can, if you want to hate Garoppolo, then you better have substance. Like you have to give me a reason. If I tell you this man helped us go 13-3, what would you say to counter that with substance?
You don't have to have substance. You like who you like. That's the bottom line. You don't like who you don't like. I don't think that really has any bearing. I mean, but to want to see them gone, if you are a fan of a team, you can not like somebody and still want them there because you might have any number of reasons you don't like them, but don't tell me it's his play. I mean, he plays well when he's there. Maybe you don't like the fact that he's not available enough. Maybe you don't like the fact that you know, his ball security hasn't been the best over his stay with us and he fumbles the ball more than you would like, careless with the ball. Maybe you don't like the fact that he sits back and throws off his back foot when he could step into some things if he read things a bit quicker. I mean, there's a lot of things you can not like.
Okay,
Yeah.
so again, I'm gonna make it a little bit more in depth. I hear what you're saying, but let's be honest. Those attributes that you just mentioned are not enough for a guy to be off this team. If you wanted to go there, we could counter a lot of things that are likable. He has more likable than dislikes. Everybody that hates him, like Beto alluded to, the comments they were saying was, we need to get rid of him. We need to cut him. We need to trade him. And get who? Who was available at the time when they were making these comments that was better than him?
Oh no, you're taking this to another level. That's not anything about what I was saying. So yeah, that's something altogether different. Who cares? Go
Well,
ahead.
no, but I'm just saying I'm expanding on what Beto said.
Mm.
So Beto said his comments was people hate him, and I understand where he's coming from because when Garoppolo got injured or Garoppolo played in the postseason, a lot of people felt like he didn't do anything for us because all he did was hand the ball off. We ran well. Then when we get to the Super Bowl, they overthrow play or why did we pass and not run? That's superseding his like almost having 90% completion in the damn Super Bowl prior to the comeback from Kansas City. So, you know, my whole thing, yeah, that wasn't a mistake. I said what I
I
said.
didn't think it was.
So, no, it wasn't. I know we got kids, so my bad. But the whole thing is, I'm not. I'm gonna say it like this. You see me, I got this Trey Lance jersey on. I don't know if you can see it, but it's Trey Lance, all gold. Courtesy to my brothers here on the show. I appreciate y'all. My whole thing is I'm not a Garoppolo lover. I've always said he's a game manager to me. He's a very good game manager when healthy. But at the same time, I do understand in this situation right now, he's a viable option for us. We're paying him, so it makes sense to have him play. So we get what we get. Now, do I want him long term? Has yet to be seen. If Lance is going to be what he's supposed to be, Lance is going to be a better quarterback than Garoppolo in the future, no question. But we have yet to see that. Lance is super young. We're hoping on that. He certainly looks the part, but we got to let it take its course. But am I a Garoppolo lover? If I would I be crying if he got traded and we got value for him? No, but I'm gonna support him while he's here.
Yeah, he's red in the red and gold, and he's playing good. You can hate a player
Yeah,
if
I
he's
mean when
playing
he's
trash.
healthy, he has a winning percentage. At the end
Yeah,
of the day, I mean, hey, yeah, you can not like how he does certain things, and as Nate alluded to, those great attributes that Garoppolo might lack in, but overall, does that supersede his overall ability to win the games?
yeah,
So
Um, uh,
I don't hate him.
I mean, let's put it this way.
I hate Nick Mullins.
For instance,
yeah.
Jimmy wins 75% of his games.
Mhm.
You know, um, and is a pretty good quarterback in most ways. But at the end of the day, if Trey Lance can even get close to him, he's still a Boston guy.
I knew that was coming.
Bye.
He's from Boston, so that
Yeah.
automatically.
I don't hate him, but I sure don't love him.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah, people are going to say what they want to say, but Jimmy, when he's healthy, he's a winner. He showed it on Sunday that you can win with him, and like Mike said, and all of you, Trey Lance definitely the future. We're looking forward to him, and nobody's saying that Jimmy in the long run is better than Trey. But right now, for at the moment, Jimmy is better because he's experienced. He knows what defense is throwing at him. He knows what to expect, and it's not too much for him to digest as it would be for Trey Lance. Trey Lance, defensive coordinators will eat him up year one, and Jimmy knows what to expect. So it's just people that want the new toy that they want Jimmy out, but they don't give Jimmy a true fair chance. They don't watch his tape.
Beto,
I
Mm.
hope this isn't
that
good.
comment that's brought up by Moses, bring that up, please.
Which
That
one?
last comment, the last one.
That one?
Yes. Yeah. First of all, when we're going to talk about idiot fans,
Oh, about the yeah.
this crap right here, totally out. I mean, when I see this kind of stuff, I sit up on social media, going through it, thumbing through it, disregarding 90% of what I see. When I see stuff like that, it burns me up. Because, see, at the end of the day, this is a game. It's a game meant to entertain us, to enjoy, and we can talk about it and we can dissect it, and we really enjoy talking about it. I mean, when you're threatening Mostert and his wife, because it was both. It wasn't just his
Yeah,
wife,
both.
but you
Exactly.
know, you're directing this stuff at this is a sick individual, and you're taking this stuff way too far because this is this kind of crap here is bigger than football.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is intolerable, and if any of that ever sneaks through our on our page, guaranteed I'm blocking the crap out of that person.
Yeah.
uh I don't allow it. I don't go for it. That is a
It-
bunch of junk. I'm glad you brought that up, Moses, because I had that completely slipped my mind. I appreciate it. uh but
yeah, that's something
yeah,
that is intolerable. And to your point, Nate, one of the reasons why you hate or dislike fantasy football because a lot of these idiots, no
oh
making
yeah,
excuses, but it's fantasy football people that are hating on him or people that make bets. He's not there to honor your bets. He's not working to make your fantasy team look better. He's trying to do his job, and shit happens. And then when you take that personal towards him and his wife, where she can't even go onto the internet or onto social media because there's death threats. People like that, bro. There's no excuse. I don't care who you are. There's
yeah,
just no
I know.
toleration for that.
That's something else you bring up, Beta, that I'd like to address as well. When you talk about fantasy football, or what I call it, fairy tale football, the reason why I despise it is because people mistake fantasy football for real football. And the people that are into it don't know the difference. A lot of them.
True.
What happens is this. I want to give you an example. George Kittle. George Kittle is, as it pertains to tight ends, is actually a pretty darn good fantasy choice. For what? Here's the thing. Last week, George Kittle was in on 20 pass plays. You know, on 11 of them, he was in pass protection. What does that do for your fantasy numbers? Not a darn thing. As a
But it
matter of
does a lot
fact,
for our team.
yeah, but hey, he was excellent in pass protection
Yes, sir.
and our
Very good
quarterback
point.
upright. So, what are you more interested in? As a fan, are you more interested in fairy tale football, or are you interested in doing things that win football games?
Yeah,
I
if
can't
those people can't
stand it.
distinguish the difference, bro, it's sad.
And
Well, they
and here's
can't. I
another.
mean, they can't.
You sit up here and you've got this going on. Your team, your fantasy football team is down by 3 points. The score is 45-3. You're watching the team in the last 6 minutes of a 45-3 blowout, cheering for this one guy on this team that hasn't done crap all game, you know, to get a few receptions and maybe score a touchdown so that your fantasy team can win. Why in the world would you want to watch a game like that? People that watch football don't watch that trash. They turn it off and look for the next game. Yeah. I, I'm just I'm not about that.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
mean,
why I don't like it. And fantasy football players that are so enamored in this actually got me to dislike it because many years ago, I mean, we're talking about going back to high school. I used to play fantasy football, but when it became a thing, I mean, I'm going back to the times where you had to get the newspaper on Monday and you had to get the statistics and everything out of there. So,
yeah. I mean, for
yeah.
those that like to play fantasy football, I understand you don't like it, and it's okay. But you have to understand real football. I mean, know the difference. Know between what's fantasy, what's real, and if you're a true fan of your team, you'd rather your team do better than your fantasy team. If you're rooting for your fantasy team to do better than your actual team, and I've seen this happen, where you need a score to win, but yet you have the other team's defense, and you want that defense to stop your team because you don't want to lose points, then you have to ask yourself, okay, you're lost in the fantasy world. You got to know reality. I mean, this is just a game for entertainment. But if you can't distinguish fantasy to reality of your team, and if you're rooting for your fantasy team over your real team, then there's an issue there, in my opinion. But if you watch fantasy football and you just enjoy it and have fun, but your first thing, your game you want to watch will come right back in. It's uh your team, then you're good. Here he is.
Not
Well,
just that, but
yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, it kind of, when you talk about fantasy football and stuff like that, it can make a player that's not that good look very good because they got fantasy points and all that. Like, why would I? If you heard the stats, I'll just say an example: 23 of 36, 450 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What would you think? You'd be like, "Oh man, he had a pretty good game." Okay, well, they lost the game 45-14. They were down 45-0 when he got those 2 touchdowns. What does that really say about that quarterback? That probably came through garbage time.
I don't know if it says anything about him. It says his team's horrible that week. That's for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you
you
got to
can't
watch
just,
the game to know if he's any good or not.
yeah. But stat wise, people would probably say stat line he had a great game. Just looking at stats without even watching the game, and that's not good.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. Sorry for that pop up, but yeah.
We got
And
ads.
one, yeah, no, I was trying to just cover myself, not all of you, but that didn't work. Anyway, but yeah, so people that get that twisted is just they're just idiots, and to go ahead and contact his wife and make those threats. The guy's just doing he just has a job to do, and and he might always be injury prone. He might never be on the field, but this guy is a cool guy, man, and I don't people that what, but keyboard warriors are all over the place, trying to be tough and and they think they're funny. They think they're just there's not that many people that I dislike in this world, but people like that, yeah, the world would be better off without them.
I don't know the direct comments that were said. To be honest, I heard about it, but I didn't even give the time and energy
They
to
were
see what
terrible.
was said.
Death threats, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not the first time, won't be the last time, man. People,
No,
the bad thing about technology is people don't have discipline to how it's supposed to be used. It's not meant for that, but people take it and abuse it, like many things, right? So, despite what these people are saying, I'm not even sure they're all Niner fans. They're fantasy fans probably as well, and they're probably out here mad because they picked them in the league and then they don't get their money or bets that they made. But bottom line is, you guys all hit the nail on the head, and we know this on this panel. Fantasy football is keyword fantasy. There's that doesn't make you an expert in football or some imaginary GM. You're a fantasy. There's a lot of guys who play well in fantasy. Good for them, but we need to do what the team needs to do to win. So, they can have that. Fantasy is just entertainment, man. But you're gonna have people who can't separate real life from fantasy, and that's fantasy has become real life for them.
yeah, and not just in football,
But-
but in general. You're right.
Yeah, across the
well,
board.
it's got to be a tough break for Mostert. I mean,
Yeah.
not outside of all the death threats and stuff like that. I mean, he was poised to have a great year. He's when he is healthy, he's a very consistent back. Um, and man, it's just I think the just gonna be missing him averaging the amount of yardage that he does per carry. I just thought about how good our offense would be with that. Man, but I mean, next man up. Hopefully, we can continue that with the other guys we got. It may not be as consistent as he was, but just have to see.
Well, it's definitely going to give the opportunity for the rookies to showcase what they can do. Trey Sermon. I mean, I think Trey Sermon was going to get enough playing time anyway, even with Raheem Mostert in there. But now that Raheem is out, I think that just opens the door more for Elijah Mitchell to be that second running back behind Trey.
I was just really, I mean, yeah, it kind of went into the ties with what Nate was saying earlier about the curfew thing, but I was really shocked that Hasty suited up over Sermon still.
Well, yeah. I mean, talent-wise, shocked, but if you're being disciplinary and you got to go with what you have, and even if you have your best player, but I love what Kyle Shanahan does. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're drafted. If you don't get your shit together, you're not going to play. And you'll have an undrafted free agent play over a third round pickup if you're not handling your business. But hopefully this will be a wake up call. Tracer, I mean, I don't know him personally, obviously, but for what I've seen, he looks like somebody that he'll learn from this, realize, you know what, I screwed up, I let my teammates down, and this is not who I am. Hopefully, and he'll get his shit together and start balling out from here on. There might even be some fire underneath him.
Let's hope so.
Yep, absolutely. Luke Luna says, "Dude, he's a good human." Okay, we're still okay. He was referring to, this guy is always a positive. Tom, what's up, Tom? Welcome, Tom. How you doing? I'm not worried about
Tom,
our
it's my
running
boy.
game. Tom says,
Is he back home yet?
"Where did
I
you
know
go?"
he was in Greece, and
Oh, wow.
he was in Greece for a while. Yeah,
He didn't invite us.
no, of course not.
I would have to drive there, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Tom says great online running game, no problem. Yeah, it helps when you have a good offensive line. And for all those critics, I want to get your thoughts on Daniel Brunskill at the right guard position. For all those critics that said he was not good, and besides Nate, I mean Nate knows I know his respected, but for all those that talked that he wasn't good, this and that, Aaron Banks, and hopefully Aaron Banks will be the future, but I think Brunskill handled himself pretty good in this game. I mean, he was against the Lions, but still. What's your guys' thoughts on him?
Talk to me next week.
All right, Nate Jr.
You know what?
I'm just saying he'll actually get a challenge. He'll actually get a challenge this week.
Yeah, he actually had a darn good game this week, And my thing is, outside of Trent, he was the best lineman on the field.
I agree.
So,
oh my bad. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Mike McClinchy was not bad himself, though, man. So I expect another good game.
O-line played well as a unit.
Exactly. They all played well.
I'm not into the. I know some people in the comments said echo some similar things. Me personally, I'm not into they'll have a better challenge this week. Man, all these guys in the NFL. Granted, yeah, there are teams better than other teams with certain positions, player caliber, but I mean, it's not like there's a huge gap in every player. There might be a handful of players that have a huge gap, a bigger gap, but all these guys in the NFL, they're the best of the best. So as you've seen, if Detroit was that easy, I mean, even though we pull out our starters, hey, they were worthy enough of coming back to where if you don't keep your foot on the pedal, game changed just like that, in a matter of seconds. So all these guys are professionals, man. I respect everybody that we play in terms of skill. So, if Brunskill does his thing against the Lions, Eagles front line is better, but he could do his thing too. You know what I mean? They are professionals, man. We'll see.
Yeah, as long as they continue to play the way they played the week one, and we should be fine against the Eagles. I really believe we're going to have a good running game. Personally, it's not going to be as easy as the Lions. I understand that, but I think the Niners with Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell, they'll do enough to. And then Debo, man. Let's talk a little bit about Debo offensively. What are you guys' thoughts about Debo? What a game, huh? Debo was.
Hey, before we get into that, hey, man, I got something come up. I got to go.
Okay.
So, all right, Nate.
Yeah.
All right, Nate.
All right.
Take it easy.
Later.
All right.
Let's see.
I thought Sherfield was the man too.
Hold on, guys. Let me. Okay, there's three of us. Why? Oh, there it is.
I'm now the Boston hater.
I know. That'll get.
You are the Boston hater.
Yeah, actually, you are.
Hey,
you are.
You're the mini me.
Nah.
Yeah.
You gotta do the facial reaction.
It's actually
too,
appropriate that you fell under that name, bro.
Yeah, you got to do the facial reactions that he do. Yeah. You say something you don't like.
What's up?
No. That's just ridiculous. Why are we even talking about this?
Come on, Eric.
Talking about practice? You want to talk about practice?
Low QBR. Why are we talking about Nick Mullins? Stop it. Yeah. Boston hater gonna hate me.
I thought honestly, Debo had a great game.
Yeah.
Just wrap up. I mean, just hold on to the ball with two hands. That's all I gotta say. He was physical.
He had one bad play.
It was actually,
but overall,
it was actually great that ball was a little bit underthrown for him for that touchdown.
Yep. Luke Luna says Burns Kills is going to play well, having to move around. If these guys get to stay, will play week one and out. Yeah, Burns.
I think I count it.
Sorry, go ahead.
There was really only two. Well, he was only sacked. Jimmy was only sacked once, but truly it would have been two because of the intentional grounding. He did get hit pretty good on a play where he threw it to Debo, but I expect the Eagles to get after Jimmy a little bit more as far as not necessarily sacking him, but just more pressure. Um, I did like how well we were throwing the ball against the Lions, and I do think that as far as in the passing game, I do think that the Lions, the Eagles secondary can't match up with our receivers or tight end. I mean, even though the run was a big part of what we did in 2019, I expect the pass game to be even bigger this year.
Yeah, I mean, we should try them with the offensive passing. So, like I said, man, we got to execute. Look, I'm not one of these Niner fans that get worried about injuries unless they have a huge totality on our roster like last year. That was a valid concern with injuries. This year, we have enough to beat the Philadelphia Eagles and eat up all their cheesesteaks when we go there. So, I mean, I'm not worried about what we don't have. I feel like we execute, we all right. Philadelphia to me is not their division sucks, in my opinion. True enough, every year is different, but last year they weren't great. So this year's a new year. I know people getting hyped up about Dallas and all that over there. Dallas sucks. You know how I feel about them, me and Tom. But we got one of the hardest divisions, if not the hardest divisions in the NFL. So like the Eagles, look who we playing in our division. You know what I mean? We got some games that we see these guys twice. Um, I'm not really worried about the Eagles, man. I'm not worried about no damn body personally. But as far as caliber of teams, even though they're all NFL athletes, they're good as a unit and as coaching. I believe that we will beat the Eagles. I love the fact that our our offense is pretty much intact so far, especially our O line. That was my biggest concern. O line and secondary coming in this year. The health of those two units. If O line is healthy, offensively we'll score on anybody. Defensively, I think we can make enough stops to have our offense win the games.
To answer to answer Moses' question about Josh Norman, Ambry Thomas is listed ahead of Josh Norman. So, till otherwise, I've got to believe that Ambry Thomas is actually going to start over Josh Norman. But the way we played, all three of those guys should be out there.
Yeah, and we'll see how that lasts because we're known to rotate. So we'll see how that lasts. Starting out, who finishes is the question for me.
So as we're getting closer to the end of the show, let me ask you guys, what are your key matchups that you guys see against our team against the Eagles? Do you guys want to see? We'll start with Eric, and then we'll ask Mike.
Debo Samuel versus Darius Slay.
All right, pretty simple. What about you, Mike?
Man, I want to be honest with you. I want to see Niner fans kick the Eagles fans down in the stadium. That's the matchup I want to see.
Ass.
Because the Eagle fans think they're tough. You know what I mean? They got a reputation, so they don't run up on the Niner gang fans. They're gonna find out. That's the matchup I want to see.
Yeah, you can't blame the Eagle fans. They're a bunch of soccer fans.
That's why I'm.
Oh dang it, Mike! Hey, Mike. We can't tie this week.
Yeah, hey, I'm a soccer fan. Y'all know that, but like soccer fans, Eagle fans, no comparison. But like my whole thing is matchup wise, I think we're just better coached. I think we're better all around. I mean, our roster is just better than them. Period. You know what I mean? Offensively, we should have handled the Eagles pretty well. If their run defense is so stout, we don't have to run the ball like Elijah don't have to get over 100 yards. Collectively, those guys can do different things to affect their defense. Passing wise, they're going to be in trouble. They're in trouble. So, Debo, if Ayuk gets around, Sherfield played pretty damn good. No mention to him. He played pretty damn good. He did what he had to do. Of course, Debo was the man on the receiving end, but he did pretty damn good. So we'll see how it goes. And Kittle's going to do his thing.
Yeah, Kittle will always do it. Kittle definitely will do his thing. I think Jimmy will have a good game. And Brandon Ayuk, I don't expect Brandon Ayuk to have 2 games back to back quiet. I'm not saying he's going to be the
He
leading
didn't play.
receiver, huh?
He didn't play but like 20-something snaps, so I
True.
wouldn't even.
But I know he's going to play more this game, and I expect to see him definitely do some catches. And I know a lot of people are not really high on Trent Sherfield, but I am. I like him. I know he hasn't done much in the league for the last 3 years, but I think sometimes when you change pace, when you go from one team to another, sometimes it's under different coaching. You can become better than where you were. So I like what I've seen so far. I think he's going to be great for us. And he's definitely challenging some of our receivers. And Kyle Shanahan even said so himself. But I'm not saying he's better than Brandon Ayuk, but I'm just saying I like to have. I like that he's on the roster. I like that he's at least a number 3, and that we can depend on him.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely a solid number 3 choice.
Yep.
Like if we came out gunning in a trips or something like that, it'd be nice to
3
have.
receiver sets, bro. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, all 3 of them can catch. Debo, Ayuk, and Sherfield. You know what I mean? Then you have Kittle blocking. You know,
and Kittle's gonna go off too, man, because they're gonna focus on Debo some after that performance. I'm sure they're gonna really try to find ways, and that's
they
gonna
might
just
double
open
them up.
to.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. The Niners have a complete team. This is why I love having a complete team, because everybody can be the guy on a given night. You can't plan for that. You know, you can't stop all the threats. So I love it. I mean, to these Eagle fans out there running their mouths talking about last year, this ain't last year. This ain't Nick Mullins. This is not the same injury team you playing. And we ain't the Atlanta Falcons.
yeah, definitely.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Moses, about the Cowboy fans. I've definitely terrible people.
Oh, you don't got to tell me and Mike that. We don't like the Cowboys themselves and their fans.
One positive though, I know it was just preseason, but we didn't really have a lot of drop balls. They cleaned that up. That was good to see.
Well, I know that in the offseason they were emphasizing the drop balls, and they were
like they were dropping them in preseason too. Like we couldn't get anything started with Trey Lance because people kept dropping the ball. Didn't really have that issue week 1.
I don't know. I think 81 looks good on him, but I know you're referencing T.O., but I think 81 looks good on Trent. It definitely looks better than the other Trent that we had in 81.
I know it's a total different sport, but if you, like, for instance, like the Yankees, if you couldn't let nobody wear a number, then all of those numbers would be retired. So I mean, it's got to. That's actually one thing I kind of agreed with the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately, is they didn't really retire numbers, and other players came in and wore the numbers. It's just a number. It's not the player.
Was 8.
Oh well.
When you have seen,
probably
when have you seen 8 being worn?
Well, Troy Aikman's still alive, ain't he?
Although they did,
or he's the best.
Yeah.
Des Bryant wore Michael Irvin's number.
But to your point, what's the name is wearing what's the receiver that is over there right now with the Cowboys number? The rookie, what's his name?
It doesn't matter what his name is.
Anyway, he's wearing Michael jersey, old jersey. So to your point, you're right.
Nobody has the balls to wear Jerry Grice's number. Even if it was available, nobody has the balls to wear it.
Although I didn't like when Jerry Rice wore Steve Largent's number, took it out of retirement. I didn't like that. I think they should have kept that. He did ask for permission. They should have said no. I'm sorry, but
I did
Steve
like when T.O. stumped on the Dallas Star.
Huh?
Yeah, I did love Ben Wynn played football with him.
Okay, I said huh, and both of you guys talk again. One at a time, please. Go ahead, Mike.
I just said I love when T.O. stumped on the Dallas Star.
I got you. All right, Eric. Go
We're
ahead.
the
Now
only
make your point.
franchise. We're the only franchise to go into Dallas and stump on their star multiple times and own them in their field, and we won. So that's it.
Our player felt so bad that he cried over their quarterback. So yeah, I'm not gonna elaborate on that.
That's my quarterback.
I hated T.O. for going to play for Dallas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hated Charles Haley for going to play with Dallas.
But do y'all feel the same way when we got players to come from that team to come to us, or vice versa?
I'm wearing Kent Norton's jersey right now, so.
At the end of the day, it's a
your
business,
point.
man.
Nope.
These guys aren't going to stay to a team because they're fans. They're going to go where their business needs
Of
them.
course.
And it sucks to say that, but the reality is, man, hey, they're going to go. But
show me the money.
Yeah, I mean, this whole NFC East division. You know what I mean? We're playing the Eagles, so it's a game that I'm excited about because every game counts. Obviously, I want some payback from last year, even though this is a different team. Still, it's just the principle of putting that Detroit Lions game that the Niners can't hold on to a lead when we know we put our starters, but idiots don't watch us like that. They don't know. So I want to beat the Eagles and shut all that up and say, hey, we beat a so-called better team and we still put the brakes on them. So now what? Moving on to next week, we just gotta keep winning. They're gonna talk no matter what. So who cares what
we
they
just
say?
treat every game like we're 0-0. I mean, that's just the way.
Every game literally counts. The goal is to win the division. That's it. We don't make our season on the Eagles or anybody else. The goal is to win the division. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely what you shoot for. A lot of people think the Super Bowl is ultimately you want to make it to the Super Bowl, but if you talk to the players and coaches, it's all about winning your division. You want to win your division, and then from that point on,
absolutely,
you go to phase 2. Phase 1, win your division. Phase 2, go deep in the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl. But I don't think any coach or team will sit there and go, I want to win the Super Bowl. They will tell you 9 out of 10 times they want to win the division, and that's what they shoot for.
It's not even that anymore. It's you got to be the number 1 seed. That's what you're playing for.
Well, now the way the seating is, because there's no more.
There's no
2 teams don't get a bye anymore. Just 1.
Yeah, you got to be the best.
So that's crazy.
Yep.
It worked out pretty good, but that is you know what? But rightfully so. If you can be the best team out there, then you deserve to have a bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody else can just play.
It's a long season, man. I just think we gotta just stay healthy.
Well,
I'm not worried about nothing else.
Technically, the season starts Sunday, right? Because we have 17 games. Now it's actually 16 games left. So normally the season will start this Sunday. So we're 0-0, which is good because that's the way you want to play, 0-0, and then win. But anyway, guys, we've been hitting a little bit past an hour. It's getting late. I know it's later for you guys, especially for Mike. And then I think, Eric, you're 2 hours ahead, so it's not early either. You guys had long days at work. So
I got to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, you're okay. So I definitely want to respect that. So any final thoughts? We'll go ahead and go with Eric, and then we'll let Mike. Any final thoughts you guys want to say before we say adios?
Not really. Just hope we can pull out the W and stay healthy. This game, I don't want to see any more players fall down.
What about you, Mike?
I think Philadelphia cheesesteak sucks. I won't be eating any for the weekend. And the Eagle fans, you suck. And Niner fans run you, and we own you. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what the Eagle fans are going to be hearing. They're going to be panicking over there because when the Niners come in, come into town and we play week 1, we'll sign off the alarm. I got to do that against his Eric. Put his headset back on. This is what that's what Eagle fans are going to hear, because the Niners and the troops, the red and gold troops, are going to go into Philly and kick their ass. What is your score predictions before we go out? Mike, what is your score prediction for Sunday? And then Eric, and then I'll say mine. Go ahead, Mike.
My score prediction is we win on and off the field.
Oh, numbers, though.
That is all casualties.
Playing it safe. I love it. Go ahead.
More points than them. But no. I'll go 24-17.
All right. We have 35-17. We have 31-24. 30-0. Dang, Tom. I love it.
I go San Francisco 49 to their 0 because they're nothing.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I expect it to be somewhere around 28-17 is what I say. So, okay, guys. Well, thank you for all the viewers. The boys are back. We're still just on Friday. We'll discuss it with the panel about maybe moving up to Mondays as well. But for now, we're on Friday. So check us out every Friday at 7:15 Pacific Standard Time here on the YouTube channel N.W.A. Podcast. For myself, Niners Sickness, E-Man, Florida Mike, and the Boston Hater. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys being part of the show. Until next time, stay faithful, stay committed, and we're out of here.